Let's dive in and talk about functional medicine for kids. Hello there, I'm Evan Brand, certified functional medicine practitioner, functional nutritional therapy practitioner. This is a fun topic. I've got two children of my own. I've got a little girl who's 4.5 at the time of this recording and another one who's 18 months old. And luckily we've had an amazing life with them so far. Number one, don't let your kids get tick bites. We love going out in the woods, and so unfortunately our kids have had some tick bites, and of course you can get exposed to Lyme and which is Borrelia. You can get exposed to Bartonella, Babesia, Mycoplasma. There's many co-infections that can come from tick bites. So I didn't put that on the list, but maybe that's number one step. Hey, if you're gonna be out in the woods and enjoy nature as much as we are, don't let your kids get tick bites if you can help it. And it's tough. Some of the nymphs are extremely small and it can happen. But I've worked with many clients who've brought their children to me after exhausting the options with the conventional pediatric doctor. The problem I find is that many pediatricians don't have a clue about the functional medicine strategies and testing that I'm implementing into the children in my own family, but the hundreds of children that I've successfully helped in regards to children with autism, developmental disorders, ADD, ADHD, bipolar disorders, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, skin issues, food sensitivity issues, issues with sleep, behavior, biting children, getting kicked out of school. I mean, there's just so much stuff that I've been able to help with, and I'm very grateful. And it's funny how it works. I actually joke around with my clients that, I debate going into just focusing on children because they get better faster, and it makes me look better because my success rate is so quick and so fast with kids, which is really fun. But let's dive in. So in regards to kids, I mean, the first thing is really getting the proper testing done, because you could talk all day about behavior and, oh, Johnny, you just need to settle down and whatever, but it doesn't matter. I mean, if they have a neurotransmitter issue, you got to find it. So we're going to be running an organic acid test on pretty much all children. This is a simple at-home urine test. We're going to be running a mycotoxin screen. Once again, simple urine test done at home. And then lastly, we're going to run a stool panel, which is typically we're doing one called a GI map. It's very easy. We've run it on children as young as 6 months old, where the mother just literally scoops the poop from the diaper into the tube. We get it back to the lab. My daughter, my oldest, when she was 2, she had parasite infections, and luckily we were able to find it early. Number one, proper testing. And then number 2, we were able to treat it, address it, take care of the infections very quickly. And most parents, they think that there's inconsistencies with the bowel habits or food reactions or skin issues, and they just think, oh, they're just a baby, that's colic or whatever else, and they blow it off. But no, I know as a functional medicine practitioner not to ignore things. And so as soon as we saw symptoms with her, we investigated with stool, we found the infections, we came in with an appropriate herbal protocol, we addressed it, we got rid of the infection. So moving on here. Number 2, after you get the proper testing done, which pediatricians don't have a clue about these, unfortunately. There's a couple of functional medical doctor pediatricians out there that are friends of mine. I love them. Hello. But, most of you guys are not doing this stuff. So number 2, proper protocols and dosing. You can't fix a kid if you can't get them to take the protocol. So a lot of times we're tweaking it to where we're doing chewable instead of pills. We're doing liquids instead of pills. Man, we've got some superstars, some 5, 6, 7-year-old kids that can swallow pills. They're amazing. But, fortunately, with all of the access that we have, we're able to get a lot of professional grade formulas in liquid form. So that's really what I meant here by that, is proper protocols and dosing. So in regards to dosing, typically we're going to be doing half to 1/4 of a dose for an adult. So for example, if typical dosing is based on a 150-pound adult and you've got a 50-pound kid, we're going to basically do 1/3 of the full dose. It may change depending on the kid, depending on tolerance, but that's generally how we do that. And then proper protocols, meaning if you found a parasite infection, you've got to use proper herbs to address it. The conventional docs may come in if they knew how to run those labs, and they may say, well, we're going to use this medication or that medication. I don't do any pharmaceuticals at all. I just don't think they're needed with the type of issues that we're finding and resolving. Number 3, foundational nutrients. These are things that I keep my children on personally. We're going to be doing vitamin D. We're going to be doing chewable digestive enzymes. Now the question may be, well, does the kid's body get lazy if they do enzymes and then their body's not going to make enough? No, you're just adding to the digestive fire. You're not replacing the digestive fire. We're going to do a good multi. So we have a good methylated multi that we give to our kids, professional formula. We do omegas. We do a couple of grams of omegas per day. And then we do liver and adrenal support. So that looks like various adaptogenic herbs, milk thistle, and then we do some detox support as well. So detox support is going to be micronized chlorella. Occasionally we'll throw in a little bit of charcoal, some zeolite clays, and various other gentle binders. Regardless of whether they're my kids or not, I'm still implementing the same things, and parents really do feel happy and confident that, you know, I'm working on my own children, using them as an example of how healthy they can be and what we can achieve. Moving on here, number 4, GI immune. This is really the key foundation for kids because, you know, they're born with a leaky gut, right? So that they can absorb mom's breast milk. And so a lot of times the GI system is where things dysfunction in children first. So we're really going to be working on things like colostrum to help build up the intestinal permeability situation. We're going to try to seal up those tight junctions as soon as we can. We're going to be bringing in immune supports as well. So colostrum does have some beneficial immunoglobulins in it. We may be doing some bone broth, like if we're doing a homemade chicken and wild rice soup, we may throw in some extra bone broth to try to help with the gut. We may throw in zinc carnosine, we may throw in slippery elm, DGL, aloe. I mean, there's various immune and gut supports that we use, but really just, you know, clearing up any infections that you see over here is going to be key. EMF and screen limits. So we know, just based on looking at the papers on radio frequencies, RF, this is wireless frequencies that come from Wi-Fi, tablets, cell phone towers, even TVs now, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, wireless headphones. I mean, kids are just inundated. They are just literally drowning in amounts of radiation that I didn't even experience my whole child life. The amount of EMF I experienced in my whole childhood is less than what the average kid now experiences in possibly an hour or a day. And it's really sad to see. We've seen a massive increase in behavioral issues. We've seen a massive increase in autism. Now, I'm not saying exactly that, you know, correlation is causation, but what I am seeing with parents is that when we do just try to get them to live like the Amish, we've got some Amish in Kentucky. My wife and I and the kids visited them to go look at some cabins. It was a fun experience. And we just really probe them on, you know, your kids, their behavior, their exposure to technology. They don't have it, and the kids are incredibly well behaved. Now, I'm not saying they're the perfect model for everybody. Everybody just needs to get rid of electricity. No, but I'm saying I like to study people and look at what parts of their life are contributing to their health and happiness. And they certainly don't have the same, you know, screen addicted children that most people do. So for us and our family, we live a pretty low-tech life. I mean, obviously technology helps me run my practice and runs my clinic and my supplement company and all of that. But otherwise, you know, we're outside as much as possible, fresh air, sunshine, even if it's cloudy. I mean, you've heard the saying, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. So, I mean, we'll bundle up and we'll still get outside, go for a hike in the woods. So we're doing everything we can to really just limit EMF exposure. We live out in the countryside where there's no visible cell towers, even within a mile radius. So I know, you know, the life that we have may not be achievable. Maybe everyone can't be out in the country far away because they have to be in the city to work. I don't have all the answers, but, you know, limit your exposure where you can. Buy yourself an RF meter. I'll put a link down below you can check out. Measure your radio frequencies in your house and get rid of Wi-Fi. Use air tube headsets. I'll put a link for that down below as well. Use air tube headsets instead of a typical wired headset. Go wired connection with your Ethernet. Get rid of Wi-Fi, Bluetooth connections completely. And get the kids off the screens. It's not good for their brains. Our brains did not evolve to be looking at that. They really need to be seeing wide open spaces. They need to help their eyes too. I mean, we've seen a lot of issues with myopia, right? And vision issues are massively increasing exponentially because of the screens. Our eyes are basically getting lazy. They're getting used to seeing something this far away, and they're not focusing on far distance anymore. And it's gonna happen to us. So if you need help, please click on screen. We'd love to help. Take care now. Bye-bye.